We'll start up here at the front. It does have a 7-way holder on the tongue of the trailer to keep the 7-way up off the ground so it doesn't get corroded. We have a hookup light for hooking up at nighttime. 2 vents on either side of the compartment that vent the battery from the inside to the out. In the front compartment, we do have 2 12-volt batteries. We also have your spare tire that is aired up to pressure, but it's not been torqued on, it's been put on with a wrench. And it is aired up to 80 pounds of pressure on the side of the tire cold. We also have our 6-point leveling controls mounted to the ceiling in the front compartment. While we're in the front compartment too, on each one of the motors, the electric motors, they have a manual way to crank them in or out, a rubber plug in the bottom, and a rubber plug up here at the top. On all 6 of the jacks that's on the trailer, that way in case one of them doesn't work, there is a manual way that we can crank that up or down, either way you need it to go. We have the 2 LED strips on the top of the trailer. The light switch for it's in the front door side compartment. The first compartment down the off door side is the outside of your propane. The regulator's pointed towards this tank over here with the arrow. It's green on the inside. As soon as that tank would happen to come up empty, it's going to turn red inside the eye, indicating that the bottle it's pointed to is empty. If you have the other cylinder on the other side open, it'll automatically pick up from it. Still going to show you red in the eye that the one that's pointed to is empty while it picks up from the other one. Then all you have to do is flip it over to that side there, work off a bit while you take this one off and take it down and have it refilled. But this is the one I worked off when I serviced the trailer. Second door back does have the instructions for the ground control leveling. It actually shows you how to drop the unit off the truck, how to put it back onto the truck, how to level it, and how to unlevel it. It shows you exactly what each one of the buttons do on the right hand side. And it is mounted in the front compartment on the off door side. It does have a handle right below it that is a manual jack to do your center slide ring. For any reason it won't go in or out on its own, there is a manual handle to crank it in and out. All the rest of the stuff in this compartment's on the other door side, so we'll wait and tell you about it when we get over there. It has a freshwater tank drain right in behind the 2-inch valve drain line there for draining the water out of the fresh tank. The hose with nothing on the end of it is a breathing tube that lets air come out of the tank while you're filling it. Your first dump station here, the gray valve in the front does your kitchen sink and your bathroom sink water. The valve in the back, the 3-inch valve, does the half bath, the toilet and the half bath. We are using the plastic blocks for the 6-point leveling system on the trailer. It just ensures us that we doesn't get out of stroke while we're leveling and unleveling the trailer. Lug nuts on the trailer have been torqued at 100 foot-pounds. That's what's recommended on the side. And the tires are aired after pressure, which is 80 pounds on the side of them cold. We did put tire shine on them, shine them all up nice and pretty.
They look good.
Your first big through compartment back here in the back will hold a lot of storage inside of it. The light for it is on the door side of the trailer. We're going to come back into the water fill compartment. It does have a sliding tray. Lift up on the handle, allows the tray to come out. Quite a bit of storage in it. Locks back into place. In the water fill, it does have a water canister mounted to the wall. We have a new water filter for the canister. The wrench to take the canister on and off. And the lines on the trailer's been blowed out, so it doesn't have water in the lines. The canister's been emptied, the hot water heater's been emptied, and the lines on the trailer's been blowed out, and we've added antifreeze to the P-traps. As we come back to the water fill, we have a part cable hookup and a satellite hookup, so that if you have a dish or something that you want to plug into, you can come up through the hole in the bottom, hook right to that, and leave both of the big compartment doors shut. Hot water heater is in the bypass. Since we blow the air out of the lines, we drain the hot water heater, then blow the air out. We leave it in the bypass. All you have to do to put it back to the normal fill is flip the lever down in line with itself, and it'll fill the hot water heater first. The white valve on the side there is coming from the freshwater tank to the pump. It is used for winterizing in the trailer. When you get ready to winterize, you'll turn the white valve sideways, allows the pump to quit picking up from the fresh tank and pick up from the white hose here sticking out. Right down below that, the first connection on the left-hand side is the city water connect. The one on the right-hand side is your freshwater fill tank. The first one down to bottom is your main black water flush in the back of the trailer. The one right beside it is your half bath flush in the middle of the trailer. Anytime that you hook a water hose to them, and it is recommended to have a water regulator mounted to it that cuts the water pressure down between 41 and 45 pounds of pressure. The next connection right down below it is an outside shower. It gives you hot and cold running water on this side of the trailer. Two more valves down to bottom. The black handle one is the master toilet in the bedroom area in the back. And then the gray one is for the bathroom sink and shower water. There is a hole in the bottom that you can bring your water lines up and your parking cable hookups. The way you can leave the main two doors on the compartment shut and still be able to have your water connect and your park cable or satellite hookup. On the doors, the back door shuts first, locks into place, and then the other door goes over the top of it, locks into place. It does have a 50 amp power cord, goes onto the trailer, makes a quarter of a turn. The cord's 35 to 30 to 35 foot long. It is actually plugged over here to the building. We are set up for a backup camera up top. Hot water heaters next. On the hot water heater, we have a electric switch in the lower left-hand corner on the outside. Your gas switch is going to be on your monitor panel on the inside. It also has an anode rod. What an anode rod does, it draws all the impurities out of the water to that rod, eats up the rod. Anytime the steel rod in the center is shown, it's time to replace. But it is also where you'll drain the hot water heater in between trips and for winterizing purposes. I'll have to show you the gas
And that
switch.
takes a 1 1/16 inch socket to pull it out?
Yes, 1 1/16. I'll have to show you the gas switch when we get to the inside on the monitor panel. But it does have pretty good size storage here in the back. It does have the magnets to hold the door up out of place. And there can be quite a bit of stuff stored back in the back compartment of it. We're going to take it down. It does have a ladder for going up and checking the roof. I always suggest checking the roof every 90 days. You don't have to seal it every 90 days, but the quicker you can find a problem with the roof and fix it, the better off you are. The first little compartment here in the back has a TV in it. Remote over here off to the side. The TV got 42 channels the other day. And that's working off the antenna on top of the trailer and the power booster that's behind the TV in the living room.
Seriously.
Channel 2 is 80 miles away from here, and that's a pretty good picture for
Wow,
TV.
that's a nice picture.
Mozzarella and chicken filling.
Now that TV will come out of the compartment, rotate from side to side, but it is strapped back in so it stays in place. Two outside speakers on the trailer. I'll have to show you more about that when we get to the inside. It does have a quick disconnect gas back here in the back for the outside grill. We're going to open up the outside kitchenette. It has a light on the wall and a 110 outlet. It also has an outside grill that pulls out. It does have a gas line that will come down and hook to the gas connection underneath. We're going to slide it back in. We're going to lift up on the handle. It does pull out from this side over here to an outside sink that gives you hot and cold running water. And you also have an outside refrigerator. The controls for the thermostat are in the upper right-hand corner. Saves you from having to go in and out of the trailer all the time. We're going to pull this lid back down. The next compartment is your big through compartment right in front, but your light for this compartment's on the outside. A 110 outlet on the outside of the trailer. It is also GFI protected by the outlet in the bathroom. Outside of the furnace, it's going to suck cold air in the front, hot air out the back. I always suggest putting a mud dauber screen over that for the simple fact that mud dauber screen's under 15 bucks. It's $145 an hour for us to take the furnace out and clean the mud daubers out. Once it's been lit on propane, for some reason they love that smell and they'll go right in there to that. The little hole in the side of the trailer over here is for manually cranking the main slide room on the off-floor side in or out. For any reason it won't work on its own, it does have a manual way to run it in and out. 2 low water drain points on the trailer, right underneath the fender skirt on this side. And I left them in the open position so if there was any left water, residual water inside, it would come out. In this one, we also have your inverter that takes from the 2 12-volt batteries and makes 110 for the refrigerator. The connection up here at the top is a battery disconnect, so that if you don't want the trailer draining the batteries while you're not using it, you can turn the key to the off position and pull the key out. It does have a bottle opener, a little push button light for this side of the compartment. The black switch right down below it actually turns your 2 LED lights on the front of the trailer on to go up the sides. And it is also solar prepped. Up on top it has a solar panel, and it gives you the solar panel reading on this side over here that tells you what the sunlight is putting out to the batteries, which might not be too much today because the sun's not out good and bright. Here again, we're going to come back to the door. We're going to take the handle and move it away from the door. We're going to open the door fully extended open. On the steps up at the top, it does have a strut for an assist to bring the steps in and out. Underneath each one of the step legs, there is a push button. There's 15 to 18 holes in the bottom of each one of the legs for the proper fit of the legs. Once the steps are out, it has to lay flat in the threshold. To achieve that, you push the button up underneath the legs and let the steps come all the way down until it's flat here. The reason for that is the door has to shut over the top of it. It has to be flat for the door to shut over. We do have a working fire extinguisher on the left-hand side as we come in. We're going to go up to the monitor panel next. The first button tells you the amount of water that's in the freshwater tank. The second button tells you how much juice is in the batteries. And to get an accurate reading on the batteries, you need to have the 110 line unplugged. Black tank 1 is your master toilet in the bathroom, in the master room. Second toilet is your half toilet here to the side. Gray tank 1 will be your sink and shower water in the master bathroom. Gray tank 2 will be your kitchen sink over here to the side, and it does not have the auxiliary tank. First red button down below it turns your water pump on between the freshwater tank and the faucet. The second one is the gas side of the hot water heater. When you turn it on, the little fault light up here at the top comes on. It'll stay on for about a minute. It goes off, then the hot water heater will go through 2 lighting processes to light on gas. For any reason it doesn't light, that little red light will come back on. Third red button is a set of tank heaters. It's underneath each one of the tanks for using in the wintertime to keep the tanks from freezing. First light here to the side turns the lights above our slide room on in the main kitchen area. Second one turns all of our center lights on in the kitchen and the living room area. The third light switch turns your LED lights on your awning. Your first switch down here at the bottom runs your awning in and out. Second switch to the right of that runs the main slide room out. As we step around the corner, it does have a fantastic fan in the kitchen area. It does have an on and off button. You hit the up button, automatically it'll start coming up. We did put a max air cover over the top of it yesterday so that you can leave the vent open all the time if you want, even when it's raining, so the rain don't come in. There's 3 speeds on the fan on the left hand side. And you have your up and down buttons for the lid. We hit the on button to make it come on, hit the up stroke for it, the lid comes up, hit the bottom stroke, and the lid will automatically start shutting on its own. It is kind of high up in the air and you couldn't really reach it to manually open it or shut it. It does have a flip switch right below that turns their ceiling fan on. On the left hand side turns the light on. The pull chain on the right hand side does the fan speed. And it has 3 speeds on that fan too. Thermostat on the wall for the main AC in the living room area. Turn it on. It starts with your fan speed low, fan speed high. We're going to go to the cool low, cool auto, and cool high. You'll dial your temperature down for your air conditioner. Hit that mode button one more time. It says heat in the lower left hand corner. You'll want to run your temperature up for it. Hit that mode button one more time. It should say off in the lower right hand corner. It does have a working LP detector, carbon monoxide detector on the floor level. We're going to go into the half bath. Light switch on the left hand side of the wall as we come in. It has a toilet with a single foot flush on the right hand side. We did put antifreeze into the P-traps in the toilets after we blow the air lines out. But you have a hot and cold running bathroom sink in here, pretty good size storage above it and below it. And they are the slow closing cabinet doors.
No door slamming here.
No door slamming in here. You can put them about halfway back to it and it'll automatically take it back up against the cabinet. On the refrigerator, all you have to do is touch the front of it. It'll tell you the temperature in the refrigerator and the temperature in the freezer part of it. It'll tell you if it's locked or not. We're going to go just to the inside. It also will have a travel lock on it that when you're traveling down the highway, you can put that in, screw that in, that holds both the freezer door and the refrigerator door at the same time. I'm going to take that back out and stick right back up in there. Show you the freezer side of it. You do have 2 crispers down at the bottom. There is a set of trays for making ice. But anytime you open the door, it will tell you the temperature in the refrigerator and the temperature in the freezer. It does also have the wine rack above it. Over here on the microwave, does have the light switch to turn the light on and off. Does have an exhaust high and low and off on it. It is also a convection oven. There should be paperwork in the brown bag that tells you actually how to operate it. We do have a 110 outlet on the left hand side of the stove and a USB port. On the burners up on top, you'll turn to the high light position. You'll use the striker off to the side to light those. Let them burn for just a minute. Then you can dial it down to the temperature you want and let your hand off of it. Each one of them have to be individually lit on top. Has to heat them up a little bit to heat up the thermocoupler, and you can turn it up to the temperature you want. They have to hold them down for just a minute, then you can turn it to whatever temperature setting you want, high or low. Same way with your oven. You'll turn it to where it says pilot on. Automatically, it's got an igniter on the bottom of it that will light it. Lights the pilot. And then you'll dial it up to the temperature you want it to set on. Also has a timer on the right hand side. In the top drawer, we're going to find the 2 sets of keys for the trailer. The purple key does the lock and deadbolt on the front door. The black Bauer key does all your front compartments on the door side of the trailer. On the off door side of the trailer, the Southco key does all the compartments. And then you have one back at the water field that's a 751, which is a common key. Both sets of keys have that. The drawer right down below it is where all the paperwork's at. All the paperwork that's in the trailer was in here, and the remotes. We have the remote for the outside TVs on the outside. The little remote here does your fireplace, turns it on and off, sets your temperature, and then it changes the color of the rocks, and it also changes the color of the flame. The middle size remote turns it on and off, up and down button for the volume. Zones 1 and 2. Zone 1 is inside, zone 2 is outside on your outside speakers. And then you have your main TV remote in here too. Now we're gonna come over to the cabinet. Now this cabinet's got a two-way light in it. It can be turned on 24/7, or it can also be motion detected so that when you open it, it automatically comes on so you can see what's inside the cabinet. The two lights above the kitchen sink have to be turned on by hand. They got a little push button in the center of those that turns those on. It also has a fire escape window by the kitchen area. The cabinet doors in here are the same way. Close them about halfway, they shut on their own. On your kitchen faucet, you pull it back towards you, shows the hot side of the water system. The other side is the cold side of the water system. We also have a 110 outlet beside that. We also have a brown vent bringing heat into the kitchen area. Two more switches for the slide rooms. We're going to run them out. Now we'll step up into the living room area. Two more lights up in here have to be turned on by hand. Little push buttons in the center, the ones over the couch. On each one of the chairs, there's a white sticker on the cup holder. Tap it twice, you have a light around your cup holder and a light underneath the seat. Each one of the couches butterfly out into a bed. Pretty easy. You pull the two back cushions off. We'll set them over the recliners. Up underneath each one of the couches, there's going to be two legs that get folded out. And then the back lays down to make out a bed. Both couches can be pulled out at the same time. You just can't have the couches out and run the fireplace. Gonna fold the couches back up. Each one of the cushions velcros right back to the back of it. And there is a fire escape window behind both of those. The red handles pull up here on either side. Just kind of push in the middle and the window will come open. There are both marked exits on both sides. Two more light switches up here at the top. One turns the light above the TV on. The other one turns the light above the slide rooms on. We do have a 110 outlet on either side of the TV and a USB on the right hand side. TV button pushes the TV, lets it come up. Big remote operates it. Middle size operates the stereo right behind or below it. And then the little remote does the fireplace down below. You also have your zones 1 and 2 on the stereo. Zone 1 is your inside speakers. Zone 2 is your outside speakers. It also has a USB port, HDMI cord hookup, and a headphone hookup for it too. On the AC in the living room area, it does have a quick cool down up here at the top that lets all the cold air come out of the air conditioner till this room gets cold. Then you can flip it back closed and it goes back to the round vents in the ceiling. Okay, we'll head back this way. It does also have the low rising shades on all the windows up in front. first light switch on the left-hand side turns the lights on in the bedroom. We're going to go ahead and run that slide out. As we come up into this area too, it does have a privacy door between the kitchen and bedroom area. You do have a 110 outlet on either side of the bed and a USB port. We also have another fire escape window in the master bedroom area. There is a place for a TV up here. Mount your bracket, 110 outlet to plug it into, and a park cable or an antenna hook up at the top. Shows you there's outlets on each side of the bed for the CPAP or devices charging. You do have storage up underneath the bed too. Pretty good sized storage compartment up underneath it. Now it does have the 2 bar stools at the kitchen sink. When I come into the trailer, the 2 stools were mounted on top of the bed and they are hooked down by the cables on either side of the bed. For traveling. Lights above the headboard have to be turned on by hand. Little push button in it. Little window off either side for a breeze to go between. Here again, we're going to come back to the breaker box. And the breaker box is marked what each one of the breakers are, from the left to the right. And on your car fuses from the top to the bottom. Your 2 top spots are left empty in case you wanted to add 2 more 12-volt appliances to the trailer. But they're all marked what exactly they are. And they also have a red light on the right-hand side that if one of the car fuses would happen to blow, it'll have a red light showing that it's blowed off to the right-hand side of it that is still visible through the tinted screen on the front. Another thermostat that works the air conditioner in this master bedroom. Got the fan low, high, cool, cool low, cool auto, and cool high. Hit that mode button one more time, but it does not have the heat in here. The master thermostat in the living room area controls the heat. This one just controls the air conditioner in the bedroom. Next connection down below that is the fan in the bathroom. For the fan in the bathroom to work properly, it has an on and off button. And it also has a vent open and closed up here. You have to have it open for it to bring the smoke or steam out. And it also has an off button to turn it off. Switch right below that turns the light on. In the first cabinet here, there is a washer, dryer, prep. You have 2 110 outlets on the left-hand side and water hookups on the right-hand side. Hot and cold, and they have to be winterized when you winterize the trailer too. Toilets, just like in the half bath, has a foot flush on the right-hand side. We do have antifreeze in it. You also have your GFI outlet here in the back bathroom that controls all the outlets in the trailer. You have air conditioner being brought in through the vent in the ceiling. You have heat being brought into the bathroom through the brown vent on the side of the cabinet. And we still have the slow closing cabinet doors in here. Pretty good size storage underneath the bathroom sink. In travel, the doors have to be locked down in position to keep them from slamming back and forth. It's just like your shower at home. It's got hot and cold running water in it. And in this cabinet too, it's also going to tell you that it's pre-wired for Wi-Fi. Doesn't have Wi-Fi in it, but it is pre-wired for that. Another door, privacy door between the bedroom and the bathroom area. And then behind the door that gives you privacy between the kitchen and living room, there is a pretty good sized cabinet space up at the top. And a light in the ceiling of it. That's pretty good sized cabinet space though,
It is.
especially in a bedroom. And in the master bedroom, your heat will come through the vent in the floor. And your air conditioner can come from your quick cool down in the master bedroom. Shut it back off and it goes back to the round vents in the ceiling. That's basically about everything about your trailer. If you have any questions, I'll try to answer them the best that I can. Thank you.